right, Drew, it's time for your Power 5, sir. It's been a week. It's been a couple of weeks since you've done one of these.
Yeah,
so
it has.
I'm wondering how different it was from the last time. So why don't you blow us away with your top 5?
All right. At 1, I have the Atlanta Braves. No explanation needed.
Yeah, no
Best record in
shock there.
baseball. They are absolutely rolling. Their run differential is a plus 159. And their schedule, I mean, is pretty average. The remainder of the schedule. So I think they're going to be fine, and they're definitely going to be in the postseason. Number 2, this actually might shock a few people, but I actually have the Tampa Bay Rays. I'm not giving up on them just yet, even though they are second in the AL East. They have a better run differential than the first place Baltimore Orioles. I trust Tampa Bay a little bit more than the Orioles. They're starting to get healthy. They have Tyler Glass now. They just got Shane McClanahan back. The hitters have kind of slowed down, which is kind of what I was saying all year. I don't see them hitting the way they have been, but they are still a very good team, a very talented team. And they're going to be facing Detroit the next few games. So, this is still going to be a very dangerous team. I expect them to be in the postseason race, obviously. But Toronto, Boston, New York, they're all still around there. Baltimore is first right now. So, that AL East is going to be fun to watch down the stretch. So, but I'm going to put Tampa Bay ahead. Number 3, I have the first place Baltimore Orioles. Like I said, I trust the Rays a little bit more. The Orioles, I still think, are a little too young for my liking, but they're getting healthy. They got Ryan Mountcastle back, who's been on an absolute tear since he's been back. Adley Rutschman has kind of slowed down hitting-wise a little bit, but he's still very solid behind the plate, so he's not going to lose any time. The pitching is what I'm still a little worried about. They have been pretty decent with their starting rotation. Their bullpen, I worry about, but I just still think that Baltimore is still a little too young, a little inexperienced to have them in the top 2. But the record says they're a really good team, and it's kind of hard for me to try and keep them out. So they're at number 3. I have the Texas Rangers at number 4. I actually wanted to put the Dodgers over ahead of them, but the run differential got me. I had to get Texas above them. I'm very shocked at what they've done so far, and now they have Max Scherzer to add to that. This is a very scary team. Although adding Scherzer is a huge boost, I still am slightly worried about that bullpen. But overall, their hitters, I'm not sold on completely yet, but I do feel like Texas is going to be a team to reckon with. But in the postseason, that's when I'm going to really worry about them. But as of right now, in the regular season, really they're fighting Houston and Seattle and technically the Angels. I think the Angels, the way they look today, it was awful. Brad and I were watching the Angels and Braves, and Giolito, one of the guys that the Angels just traded for, he absolutely gave it up. And it got worse and worse as they pulled him out. So it was just a very big downfall there for the Angels today. But with Ohtani and then Trout should be coming back, I think late August. It'll be interesting to see how the Angels can finish, but their run differential is really bad. It's a plus 17.
Wow.
So, but Seattle, they're still in the mix. I still don't trust them. So really that's why I say the Rangers are fighting Houston, and I really like the Rangers roster over Houston. And I think the way that the Rangers play is a little more sustainable than the Astros right now, at least to get in the postseason. We'll see. I would trust Houston more in the postseason still. That's because of the experience. But right now, the Rangers, they look really good. And honestly, I put them at 4 because they just got Max Scherzer, and that run differential is still really good. And Brad, I couldn't agree more. Baltimore is the Cleveland of last year. I think so. I think they're just not ready. And at number 5, I almost did put Houston, but I'm gonna show some love, and I don't need to, but I'm gonna show some love to the Los Angeles Dodgers. We were very low on them after they had fallen behind. I think they were at one point in third place in the NL West, behind Arizona and San Francisco. But they are a big time consistent team. They are continuing to get these wins. Their schedule actually is pretty lax right now. Right now they're facing like Oakland and, of course they're going to face like the Padres, but they've actually been kind of owning the Padres this year. The Giants games are going to be fun, but they pretty much own the Giants too. I think the Diamondbacks are the team that they would really have to worry about, but then when they face the Rockies, I'm not too worried about that. So listen, and I put them over Houston because that one little stat that I love so much is that run differential plus 92. Listen, like I said, and I've said all year, it's impressive that they basically have done this without Kershaw, who is constantly injured now. They've done it without Walker Buehler, San Francisco has been kind of nipping at their heels a little bit, and the Dodgers do not waver at all. This is a very strong team. This is a very experienced team, and they know what they need to do. They know when to turn it on. They know when to turn it off. This is a very well experienced team. I like them a lot as a baseball club. As a fan, I hate them so much, and I hope they lose it all. I hope they just lose the remainder of their games, but it's not going to happen. Listen, realistically, the Dodgers are probably going to win the NL West, unless all of a sudden San Francisco turns it on even more, or Arizona. But Arizona's starting to fall back a little bit, which is what honestly Clark and I predicted. We said that we don't think they're going to sustain it, and right now they're starting to you're starting to see them slip through the cracks a little bit. I mean, San Francisco and Arizona are playing right now, which I don't have the score, but I'll get that up right now because now
it's 4-2, top of the 8th with 2 outs as of right now.
Giants ahead.
So if they can hold tight, then they'll essentially be at 60 wins. But Dodgers are up right now 8-1 on the Oakland A's. So
all right. So one more time for me, I have the Braves at 1, the Rays at 2, the Orioles at 3, Rangers at 4, and rounding out the top 5 is the Los Angeles Dodgers.
All right, good stuff, man. Good stuff. Yeah, I'm actually proud of you that you didn't put Dodgers at like second or something like that, just because I know that technically there are rivals, but I think because you're married to a Dodgers fan, you kind of give them a lot of love that I don't think they deserve. But hey,
let me tell you this. Let me argue this. Are the Dodgers always in the postseason?
They are.
So people can get mad at me. They can say, "Oh, they're always in the postseason. They're always in the push for the World Series." I mean, the facts are facts. I hate it. I'm a Giants fan. Yes, my wife is a Dodger fan, but if I said that the Dodgers were last place, my wife would expect that. Me putting them in the top 5, she understands that I can actually respect a baseball team, and so that's what I do. I respect the teams that deserve it. So.